Good morning students, welcome to online class on continuation of induction motors for C18 EE Final 3 5th semester students. In this session we are going to cover methods of starting 3-phase induction motors, 5th chapter. Before going to our topic, my sincere thanks and courtesy to all authors for sharing valuable materials in internet for the sake of students. Do you know the starter? Do you know the starter, why it is named as a starter? Before that, what we have seen in previous classes, let us recall. Now you know that what we have seen. So what is this one? It is the induction motor. It consists of stator and it has a stator frame made up of silicon steel laminations. It has a 3-phase winding, distributed winding, R phase, Y phase, B phase, 180 degrees angle, and we have the rotor. Let us assume this rotor may be a squirrel cage rotor. It has copper bars inserted in the rotor. Then what happened? Once 3-phase supply is given, 3-phase 410 volts 50 Hz AC supply is given to motor. It produces magnetic field each phase. Thus each phase is produced a maximum magnetic field. Due to the AC nature, R phase and Y phase and B phase, it produces each phase its own magnetic field, phi R, phi YB, phi B. These 3 individual phases going to get its maximum at a different levels, that is equal to, it is placed 120 degrees apart. Okay, R phase, Y phase and B phase. Similarly, the flux produced also 120 degrees apart, and due to the distribution of this magnetic field, it is rotates in the air gap at the speed of synchronous speed. What is this one? N is equal to 120 F by P, where 120 is a constant, F is a AC supply frequency and P is the number of poles. Let us assume P is equal to 4 pole. Then we are going to get it Ns is equal to 1500 rpm. Okay, that means whenever 3-phase supply is given to the induction motor, it establishes a magnetic field that is equal to resultant flux phi R and rotating at a speed of 1500 rpm in the air gap, that is called a rotating magnetic field RMF in the air gap. During this process, it sweeps the stationary rotor conductors. As per Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, an EMF induced in the rotor conductors, then it also produces its own magnetic field that is equal to E2 in the rotor. Nothing but the stator act as a primary, okay, stator acting as a primary of transformer and secondary acting as a rotor. Then it induces the EMF in the secondary, and we applied the voltage in primary. Due to the induced EMF, rotor bars are short circuited at both ends. We have seen already in case of shorted at both ends. Due to the one, whatever the EMF induced, the current is circulated in the closed path. Then it also produces the current of I2 flows in a rotor conductors. Due to the rotor current, it also produces its own magnetic field, that phi 2, and already phi 1 due to the RMF, and phi 2 is the rotor field. So due to the two magnetic fields interaction with the motor principle, rotor will try to rotate in one direction, and due to the Lenz law, it tried to oppose cause of its production. Here cause of its production is the relative speed between the RMF and this rotor conductors. Hence rotor will try to rotate in the same direction of rotating magnetic field, try to catch the rotating magnetic field, that may be 1500 rpm, but it never reaches to 1500 rpm due to its frictional and windage losses. Then the torque is developed, the torque is tried to rotate rotor in the same direction, the motor is started. At the same time, you can observe one thing. Here what is happened, we already conducted in transformer the OC test and SC test. Here in SC test, what is happened, so we short circuited the, here what is happened, for example if we take it, so primary is given the supply and the secondary is short circuited. In case of transformer, we are going to, this is a HV side, this is a LV side, we are conducted the SC test. When fraction of voltage is given to nearly, so 20 to 30% of voltage is enough to flows the rated current in the primary. But in this case, we have given the full voltage, rated voltage to the primary, the stator side. Then you can expect the, so what is the more current produced in the secondary. So we have seen that is equal to ISN, that is equal short circuit current during the normal voltage. Just we have calculated in circle diagram. That means the whatever the current flows in the secondary rotors is a very high, that is equal I2 current is a very large. If so, we know that I2 current in transformers, what is that one? The primary current I1 is equal to vector sum of I0 plus I2 dash. The current referred to the primary side. Due to the short circuit condition, due to the rated voltage in the primary, the current is very high, then plus I0, then automatically the current which is drawn from the supply is very high. That current may be nearly 5 to 7 times of full load current. That means if my motor is under normal working condition, when we applied on the full load condition, it draws, for example, it may be 10 amperes, it may be take the 10 amperes full load current, but due to the starting, it will draw the current nearly 5 to 7 times. That means if we take the 5 times, it will draw the 50 amperes at suddenly from the supply. What is happened? It is connected to the normal distribution lines. Then automatically, if the current increases suddenly, the voltage dip takes place in the line. This may affect to the consumers which are connected to these lines. This is a unwanted thing. Okay, so why it is drawing the current? Because short circuited. The speed at the standstill condition, rotor speed is equal to 0. it acts as a short circuited secondary winding, hence it draws the more current. Okay, so these are the things we are going to cover in this session. So dear students, so you can let us analyze this thing, okay, with known value. Have you seen this one? So Bajaj Chetak, it's an old and a gold vehicle. Have you tried anyone? So what has happened here? It has a gearing system. It has a first gear. It is opposite to the second gear, third gear and fourth gear. In first gear we are going to use it downward. At that condition it will pick up is the more and more. After pick up slow speed, then we have to change opposite direction, second gear, third gear and fourth gear under normal speed condition. Suppose if you want to go starting itself in second gear, what will happen? Automatically this scooter will not start, it will stop. It will give the jerk, it will stop it. Never started in second and third gear of this Chetak vehicle. It is capable to drag 3-4 members easily, but initially you have to use it in opposite direction, first gear only. At that condition it will start, it will give the pickup is more, that is the starting torque is required more to pull the load on the vehicle. That purpose I require the first gear. That's why they are the differentiated between the first gear and second, third, fourth gear. This is a under downwards and this is a upwards 2, 3, 4. Then we are going to manage it. Okay, similarly you can see the nowadays you can see this is a already olden vehicles. You can see this is a latest vehicle. Now we can see what is this one. Everyone know this is Splendor vehicle, Hero Honda vehicle. So have you ride anytime? Yes. So what is happened here? So here also there is a gear system, first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. So while starting this vehicle you are going to apply first initially first gear only, then slowly raises the accelerator, it will speed up, then at that condition you are going to apply second, third, fourth as per our speed. Suppose what will happen, instead of directly while starting this one, if you are going to use this second or third gear initially, what will happen? Automatically the vehicle will stop. Okay, so that means what is the significance of the first gear in case of Splendor, in case of Chetak. Similarly our motor also there is a very good significance. So we have to take care of our motor. Initially it will draw the more current to develop the to pick up the speed. Initially our rotor speed n is equal 0. So during this condition, whatever the insight that our back EMF is equal 0, already you have studied in case of DC machines. We are using the 3-point starter and 4-point starter to limit the current. So in that case we are used high resistance in series initially. Once the rotor speed pickups, then we are going to cut off the studs in 3-point starter and 4-point starter. Okay, already we know what is the necessity of the starter in case of DC machines, DC motors. Similarly we are going to use same thing in case of AC motors also. Okay, so these are the relations what you have seen in previous classes. Okay, now let us see what are the objects we are going to cover in this class. On completion of this period you would be able to know, first one, the starting conditions of motor, the starting conditions of induction motor, necessity of starter and functions of starter, methods of starting up 3-phase induction motor, types of starters used in AC motors, and finally we are going to cover that the starter function with current and torque graph. Already we covered in previous classes. We are going to analyze this one. Okay, these are the few topics we are going to cover in this session. Okay, so let us see one by one. Have you remembered this one? What is this one? So do you know what is a starter? Already you have seen in second year level 3-point starter and 4-point starter used in DC motors, where to start DC motors for speed control of DC motor in armature control method, field control method you have seen. Okay, so what we have seen in that one, already you drawn the circuit diagram also. Okay, it has a overload coil, it has a no load coil, it has a resistance in the steps, everything you know that. Okay, similarly in case of the AC, so we require the one starter is required. Why starter is required already we have discussed. Now you can see here one starter. Okay, so can you give an example of the starter? So this type of the starters we can observe in our domestic applications, where we are going to use the municipality water from sump to overhead tank. For half HP and quarter HP or 1 HP single phase motors also we are using the DOL starter, direct online starter, small starters, green color and red color buttons. Okay, the protective equipments, you can see here is one of the example of starter generally used in our domestic applications. Okay, have you remembered this thing? Now, so do you know the 3-point starter which is used in DC motors? Yes, we have already seen this one. Okay, so have you recognized this one? Yes, it is the outer view, another is the inner view. What is inside? So as electrical students, we always keep in inner view only, whereas other branches people will recognize only outer view. But as electrical students, we should know what is inside of the parts, what are the each part function. Okay, so that is a 3-point starter. At the same time 4-point starter is a similar, one terminal is another. Then what is the function of this starter? We are going to this one. Now first of all, what is the necessity of the starter? Let us see. As we know that here, so we know that for 3-phase induction motor, the slip S is equal to, so S is equal to synchronous speed minus rotor speed divided by Ns, that is equal to, so just now we have seen that here Ns is equal to 1500 rpm revolution per minute, and initially N rotor speed is equal to 0. What is the S? S is equal to Ns minus N by Ns. Okay, so percentage means you are going to get it into 100. Then we are going to get this is equal to 0. Then Ns by Ns is equal to 1500 by 1500. We are going to get it 1%. Okay, that is equal, S is equal to 1. Initially, if N is equal to 1, what is the E2 EMF induced? ER under running condition is equal to S into E2. So here, what is the rotor induced EMF? That is equal to E2. That means if normal voltage is applied to the primary of transformer, we are going to get it secondary voltage in the secondary winding. Similarly, so now we are applied the normal voltage to our stator, and we are going to get it the E2 induced EMF in the rotor conductors. Okay, this is an enormous voltage. So here S1 is the maximum, what is the 1% maximum value. Then ER is equal S into U2. So we are going to get, so what is the rotor induced EMF? Okay, so these things already we have covered in previous classes. Now rotor induced EMF in equations. For three-phase induction motor, at starting condition, induced EMF is E2 is equal to E2 to R, that is the S into E2. So here what is happened? So E2 EMF induced in the rotor is equal to E2 is directly proportional to the NS, because since N is equal to 0 at starting, rotor is at standstill condition, then E2 is the maximum. This EMF circulates a very high current through the starter. If the current flows in rotor conductors, what will happen? So we know that for three-phase induction motors, this is the current equation, S into E2 by root of R2 whole square plus S into X2 whole square. At standstill condition, what is the value of this one? S is equal to 1. Then simply I2 is equal, we can write it E2 by R2 whole square plus X2 whole square under root. Then we are going to get it the more current. I2 is the maximum current will flows. That current is nearly, for example, our motor under normal condition, it will draw the current of 10 amperes, then it will draw the current more than 10 amperes. Nearly the 50 amperes draws at the time of you are switching the supply to our motor. This enormous current rushed into the motor, and this high current may be burn the winding, because I1 input current is equal to I0 plus I2 dash. So this current is enormous now. This is the high current. What will happen? It will draw some more current. To compensate this current, it has to draw from the supply. Then the current which is flowing in the stator windings were wound on the three-phase winding, that winding may be burned. Okay, similar to our same DC motors. Then what to do? So we require some steps is required initially to avoid this thing. Similarly, dear students, at starting of any lesson, starting of any subject, you may be face some criticality to understand the basics. So that's why you have to do the more hard work at initially. Once you started, then automatically you are habituated, then automatically next onwards topics maybe you feel very comfortable. At the same situation, initially it will draw some more current. Once the speed pickups, then S value increases. At initially the slip S is equal to 1, the rotor speed is equal, N is equal to 0. At that condition, so our Vignesh is not burned. Sorry, is not what is very concerned? It is not taken the Janma. Once rotor is pickups, our Vinayaka age will increases. Then the power increases at one stage. So it becomes to oppose his father Shiva. Then automatically the difference between the Shiva and Vignesha decreases. That is the voltage between the supply voltage, the voltage and induced voltage in the rotor decreases. Then automatically current will decrease. Initially we require the assistance of our Vinayaka. Okay, so here what we have seen, let us see that, conclude it. So what will happen if there is no starter inside the starter to start our motor? What will happen? We have discussed this thing. Let us summarize it. Now starting current is 5 to 8 times the full load current. Normal, whatever the current will take from the supply. Now initially it overburden, sometimes it fails, it damages the motor winding, because at the manufacture itself our winding is designed for rated current. For example, rated current is equal to I full load current is equal 10 amperes. Okay, now what is happened? Instead of 10 amperes, it will drawing the suppose 50 to 80 amperes. Then insulation failures takes place. Heat will, because what will happen? It has some resistance. This initially what will happen? 10 amperes flows through this resistance. Okay, so there is a heat will develop. That heat is equal I square RT by J. Here, so I is 10 amperes only. Then whatever the heat is developed, that is evaporated naturally or with the help of this fan. So nothing will happen to the motor. But what will happen? Initially, instead of drawing the 10 amperes, it will draw the nearly 60 amperes, for example. Take it. Then what is the formula? 60 square instead of 10 square. So we are going to get it 60 square. Then whatever the heat is developed here, 6 times. Okay, resistance is common. 6 times, that whatever the heat is developed is more and more enormous. So this temperature raised inside the motor, so unable to cool properly. Then what will happen? The heating of this machine increases. Then whatever the insulation over the winding may be failured. So we know that class A, class B, class C, class E, class F type of the insulations. Each insulation is specified by the 95 degrees and 105 degrees and 120 degrees, 135 degrees already we have seen. So these temperatures, for each temperature we have classified different type of the insulating materials. But whatever the manufacturer fellow assumed that this temperature may be class B type, so it is decided with the 120 degrees, they will provide the insulation. But initially it will draw the current instead of 120 degrees, this temperature may be 150 degrees centigrades or 130 degrees centigrades. Due to this one, insulation, what are the enamel coated on the winding, maybe due to the heating, that will failure, insulation damage. If the insulation damage, what will happen? So it is placed the winding side by side. If enamel coating is gone, automatically ton to ton short circuit occur, total winding will burn out. Okay, to avoid this thing, so we require some limiter, some tropic constable is required at the time of the gate opened. Have you observed any mall reopening with help of the cine stars? Or if you observe that the first show of the famous hero cinema, so what is the crowd at that time? At that condition, there is a traffic police may be helped to control the flood. Similarly, we require one constable to limit this traffic initially only. After pickup, so no need to this constable. So here the traffic constable is nothing but our starter. Okay. Now what will happen? This current, high current will comes, I2 will comes, and due to this one I1 also increases, our winding will burn out and generates a large voltage drop also. So what is that means? Means here this is a one line, so connected to my house. So here is the insulators. Okay, so this insulators we are connected, and is another pole. So this one, so connected this poles, for example, and here my house I connected my induction motor. For this my wheat floor, I have the heat floor machine, I connected the 3-phase supply. At the same time, this fellow is used for its domestic applications, this fellow used for his domestic applications. Under normal condition, this is a 3-phase supply, it is the 400 volts, for example, take it. And once I started the motor at a time, then what will happen? It will draw some more current. Instead of full load current, it will draw some more current. If the current, so because P is equal to V into I into cos phi. Okay, in 3-phase root 3, you can take it that way. So if the current suddenly increases, power is same, current suddenly increases, voltage automatically dip will take place. voltage drop maybe takes place. Instead of 400 volts, this voltage may be 350 volts at a time instantly. At that condition, whatever these loads connected applications of this other customers, so instead of 400 volts, he may get the 350 volts. Then their appliances also affected to this one. This can be observed, so where electric welding takes place nearby your houses. So there is a possible to the flickering of your incandescent lamps in your domestic applications where side by the welding takes place. That means it will draw the more current initially. For example, I am the farmer. I connected the 5 HP motor to my field, and this person also connected the 5 HP motors is field. This person also connected the 10 HP meter, for example. Suppose I want to use at a time, so this person, so they want to operate at a time. 1, 2, 3, start. We pushed the green button at a time. That what will happen? So whatever this one, so voltage will be suddenly, it will draw the more current, the whatever the voltage, instead of 400 volts, the voltage may be 200. Then this low voltage is identified at a relay system in the substation, the total line will trip it. This is a unwanted things maybe takes place, but we don't know the other consumer maybe same time when I am going to operate. At that condition, what will happen? There is a voltage dip takes place. There is a flickering in the other applications. To avoid that one, we require our starter. Okay. Now, high current may affect the working of other equipments connected to the same line. Hence, we require some traffic constable. We require some initial support, Vignesha. Okay, so it is essential to limit the high current with help of our starter. This is our traffic police. Okay, so he can control this whatever the problems we discussed above. So this can be avoided with help of our starter. Okay, it is essential to limit this high starting current. Therefore, to limit the high currents drawn by motor at starting, so starter is very essential. Okay, so these are the significance of starter. Now, what will do, sir, this starter? So what we have discussed, this thing, this can be done by this thing. Okay, so what are that one? So let us see the functions of starters. To limit the starting current at starting of the motor, it limits the starting current at the time of initial start. At standstill condition, this is going to operate. To start and stop the motor whenever we require it. On off also we can provide it inside. Green button, red button, you are very familiar. What is the start? Green button. What is the stop? Red button. Okay. At the same time, to permit the automatic on off when it required. Suppose suddenly supply is gone, automatically there is no need to stop personally, automatically it will stop. Suppose motor is under running condition. Suppose there is a problems occurred inside the motor, the short circuit occurred, automatically it will detect and cut off the supply. Then our motor will protected from the overload, or sometimes there is a short circuit inside knowingly, unknowingly. So that may be possible with help of our constable. And to protect motor and other equipments from a low voltage also. That means if the voltage is low, due to the low voltage it will draw the more current, our motor winding will burn. That means suppose our motor is designed for the 410 volts. So it will operate plus or minus 10%. If the voltage is less than 10 or plus, means if 410, what is the value? So here going the 10%. Okay, so that means if the voltage is less than this value, so what is the, so this is you take the minus 41 and plus 41. Then during this one, what will happen? For example, take the 350 volts. If the voltage less than 350, if the voltage is 460, so this it will operate 350 to 460 operate under normal condition. Plus or minus 10% variation takes place in the regulation of the distribution system. If instead of 350, suppose voltage is the 300 only, then what will happen? It is a low voltage, or sometimes it may be 200 volts. Then automatically our motor will draw the more current. Due to the low voltage, motor will burn. At that condition, I want to stop my motor, but I am at the house only. Instead of I started my field, agriculture field, I started the motor. I came to my home for my lunch. At that condition, there is a voltage is less due to some short circuit, short faults, maybe shunt faults and series faults. At that condition, our line voltage instead of 410, our voltage only 225. If it sustains that low voltage, our motor will burn. So this can be take care of relays in our 11 kV substation, 33 kV substation. So what will happen if we sustained that relay is not operated? Then low voltage, high current will draw, our motor will burn. To safeguard of our motor, I provided my dog, that is our starter. It will observe the voltage is 410 or 450 or less than this voltage. If the voltage comes low or high from the predetermined value, our motor will automatically stop it. That can be possible with the help of my starter. Okay. And now how to start this motor, sir? So methods of starting. To limit such high currents to safe value, there are two methods are employed famously. One is by applying the reduced voltage to the stator. So what we have seen here, so whatever our motor, it will draw the current from the supply. Okay, so due to the short circuited rotor, so I am going to, instead of giving initially what we have seen in transformers, in SC test we short circuited because this is a short circuited rotor. Initially we are going to give the 10 to 20% of voltage only to carry the load current, ISC current. Okay, so initially what will happen? We have given the 10 to 20% voltage with the help of the variac auto transformer. Then at that condition, this low percentage of voltage itself, it draws the full load current in the primary. Okay, then what will happen? We take in the readings, but motor is not burned. Now similarly, initially we have to give some reduced voltage. So how we are going to reduce? Instead of 410 volts at initially, so I can give the voltage, for example, so initially from the 10 volts, 20 volts, 30 volts, 50 volts, 60 volts. So due to the low voltage we are going to give it, it will also develop its I2 current and it produces a torque, and the torque will try to rotate the rotor. Once rotor is rotating, the slip value, what is the slip value? S is called 1 in standstill, the slip value decreases. Once slip value decreases, the I2 value also decreases. So we can see that graph also. Then I2 current decreases, then what will happen? The current drawn from the supply also decreases. Then our total motor winding is a safe side. That means, so these are the two methods I am going to use it. To protect my winding, I have to give the reduced voltage. Otherwise, I have to use some resistance in the rotor circuit. So instead of short circuit, I can use some resistance in the secondary. So but in this case, what will happen? In squirrel cage, there is no possible to insert the copper bars. Both are welded. Not possible. But in case of the slip ring induction motor, there is a possible to insert the resistance externally with the help of the rotor rheostat. Okay, so that means Here I am going to safeguard my motors, the squirrel cage induction motors and slip ring induction motors. We require the two types of methods. Okay, common are by applying the reduced voltage to the stator, reduced voltage induced in the rotor, then I2 also reduces, a safeguard to our motor winding. Or so we can use, if it is not possible to use the stator side, I can use in the rotor side. So by adding the resistance, okay, so this is the first case, by adding the, so we can control from the stator side here. Or if it is not possible, then I can control so by in rotor side. How we are going to control the rotor side? By adding the some resistance in the rotor circuit. Okay, so for getting the above conditions, we require to choose the starters. Okay, so that's why the starters are at different types. Okay, these are the method. That means our motor is safeguard to one from the stator side, we can protect it, otherwise from the rotor side we are going to protect either one side only, not both sides. So that means you are going to use it starter at stator only. So in case of slip ring induction motor, so we can use stator side or rotor side, but whereas a squirrel cage rotor, so we have to use the starter at stator side only. This is the two methods we are going to apply it in our electrical field to operate our induction motor. Okay, so sir, will you tell the what are the different of the starters? What are the possible different starters to start our induction motor, stator side and rotor side? The rotor side only one starter, that is the rotor resistance starter. Rotor resistance starter. What is inside? It has some, just like the 3-point starter, it has some resistance variable values. Simply is connected to the slip rings. Okay, so here is the one thing, and stator side we can operate with help of the our starter. What are different of the starters? Let us see. Types of starters. There are the 4 types of starters for starting a 3-phase induction motors. Those are: 1. A direct online starter. Simply in famous we can say the DOL starter. Have you seen the DOL starter? Yes, you can see it. This is the DOL starter, direct online starter. So by using this DOL starter, so we are going to operate our motor, but what will happen? This starter will not reduce the voltage or reduce the current. What about the line voltage? Line directly connected to this one. So then what is the need, sir? So this DOL starter has a significant, that means we are going to operate the motors which has the HP less than the 5 HP motors. Small motors can be operated with help of the DOL starter. So DOL starter cannot control the voltage, cannot control the current, but we can protect the motor from overload and underload and lower voltage also. So it has 2 coils similar to the 3-point starter, over voltage coil OLR and under voltage coil. Similarly, we have also this protective equipments by using the bimetallic strip inside. That's why, so this DOL starter can be used for motors less than 5 HP motors only. Okay, so for full volt starting purpose we can use it. And coming to the suppose the motor rating is more than the 5 HP motors, then we are going to use another family of starters. So that is the auto transformer starter. So in this case we are going to give the reduced voltage at starting with help of knob. Have you remembered auto transformer? Yes, you have to use this auto transformer in your laboratory for SCOC test conduction time. You are used the one variac. That variac is nothing but auto transformer, but that is a single phase. Here you are going to use a 3-phase auto transformer. It has the input terminals and the output terminals. There is a winding, the number of turns and secondary we are changing by changing the rotating knob. So based on the rotating knob K value, we are going to increase decrease the output voltage. Okay, that is a auto transformer. And another famous also, instead of changing that thing, so there is a star delta starter also, we can use it. Have you observed this star delta starter? So whenever you are going to in wheat flour mills, so the operator will operate the motor for wheat flour purpose. He can start the motor and push the one starter one side. After observing the 10 seconds, then he will pull the another side knob. That means initially is in star connection, and after that is going to apply the, after pick up the speed, it is going to the delta connection. So he is also very famous. He don't know the why he had to, he operated, but as electrical student we know that in a star connection, line voltage is equal √3 times of V phase. That means the line voltage and phase voltage is a difference by √3 times. In delta, the line voltage, okay, line voltage and the phase voltage is the same. Okay, whereas the current also proportionally vice versa changes. So that is the basic idea inside the star delta starter. So nowadays we can operate this instead of using the two, whether it's a initially starting, after that delta by manual operation, there is an automatic star delta starters also available in the market. What will happen? Inside there is a timer is provided. Initially, whenever you are pushed the green button, it is the winding is connected automatically in star connection initially, and after the rated speed, after the in timer, after 10 seconds or 5 seconds, then automatically it will converted from star to delta with help of the relay systems. Then motor will run normal condition. Okay, that is a star delta starter or automatic star delta starters. These three starters, direct online starters, auto transformers and star delta starters, are used in stator side in case of our squirrel cage induction motor. At the same time, we can use also slip ring induction motor to perform the no load test and black rotor test. Just now in previous classes we discussed. Okay, so how to draw the circle diagram with help of these tests, already I explained also. So at that condition we are going to operate so this type of the starters. So general purpose we are using to, in testing purpose we are going to use the auto transformer for SCOC test, but loading up these transformers, load test on induction motors, we can use this either of these three starters. And coming to the rotor side control, so this is known as the rotor resistance starter, used for only slip ring induction motor. Okay, so these are 1, 2, 3 above serial numbers for both squirrel cage and slip ring induction motors, whereas fourth only for our slip ring induction motor. Okay, so have you remembered this then? So you want to know physical, how the dual starter, how the auto transformer, how the star delta starter, you want to know, then you can see the figures. Okay, so this is a DOL starter, direct online starter. It can protect the motor from overload, underload, but it cannot limit the starting voltage. Okay, that's why we can use less than 5 HP motors rating only. So sir, you may have one doubt, sir, even 5 HP motors, it draws the starting current nearly 5 to 7 times, then motor will not burn. So it will not burn because low rating motors are initially designed such a way that it can withstand this current only. So because 5 HP motors, less than 5 HP motors, the insulation what is inside at the type of the manufacturer itself, it can bear this current. Okay, that's why it's limited to the 5 HP motors only. If more than 5 HP, we have to use another type of the starters. So what is the another starter? So used in laboratory, that is the auto transformer. Okay, so what is the auto transformer? This is just like this, inside there is a winding. This is a primary winding and this is the secondary winding. So what are the I'm single phase, I'm going to the single phase. So primary, for example, OR phase, and for example here is they take the another neutral, then here applied the 230 volts, and here what will happen, the turns from this to this one we are going to the 100 turns, and from this to this one we are going to the 50 turns. Then what is the voltage? If I applied the 230 volts, automatically 50%, that is equal, we are going to 115 volts appeared in the secondary side. So by changing this knob, so increasing and decreasing number of turns, so we are going to get it the voltage in second side. Dear students, so there is a possible to increase output voltage also. How, sir? So here, so there is a winding, you can see it. So here I am going to the phase, here going to the neutral. So total turns, maybe here can see the 230 volts here going to here. So here this is common, this is C. Dear students, while using the auto transformer, there is a terminals. Okay, what is the terminals? This is the A terminal, this is the B terminal, and this is a C terminal, whereas a variac should be the E terminal. You remember this thing, terminals. Okay, what is the input terminals? Now I connected the B and N. Input is the B and N, 230 volts applied. Now in secondary terms I connected the E and C. Voltage across is equal to E and C. For example, in this case 230 volts applied in secondary terms, maybe, so here total turns 100 turns and this is a 25 turns, for example 125 turns primary, this here this side. Suppose if I move this jockey to this turns, for example here, what is happen? So here I am going to get it, this is this one and this is the second one. So what is happen? Output turns are more than the input turns, automatically voltage step up here. So that is a beauty of this auto transformer. Okay, we can increase and decrease by varying the number of turns. K value we are going to change it. Okay, that is a auto transformer. Now coming to the another transformer is the rotor resistance starter. So what is the rotor resistance starter? Inside there is a resistance provided, 3-phase starters. By changing the knob, you are going to vary the at a time this all resistance values. At the same time, there is also provision for the overload and underload protection also. So initially what will happen? Minimum and maximum. That means minimum resistance. That means what is the minimum resistance? You are going to connect here. The jockeys are connected. So this is the terminals to connect phase. So you are going to connect this one. Okay, I can connect it. How it is will? So suppose for example this is the resistance. So this is the resistance and this is the resistance. This is the resistance. Okay. Our winding also has, okay, winding has also 3-phase windings connected in star inside rotor winding and 3 terminals coming from the slip rings. Okay, so now it is connected to this one and is connected to this one and is connected to this one. That means what will happen? Whatever the winding is connected resistance series. Suppose in minimum position means you are going to connect here and disconnect here, either connect here. That means the resistance is bypassed, the minimum resistance position. Suppose maximum resistance position, then you are going to keep here, you are going to keep here. That means whatever the resistance connected in series, this one, that is the minimum and maximum. Initially you have to keep it as a maximum resistance position, that is the high resistance connected in series with the winding. Okay, so this is a rotor resistance starter. Secondary side you are connected the some resistance, therefore I2 limits automatically, I1 also decreases. This is a rotor resistance starter for slip ring induction motor. And coming to the another starter is the star delta starter. This is the one star delta starter generally. So these 4 starters are used in our AC motors, but whereas in the DC motors we are going to use only D-valve starter, the 3-punch starter and 4-punch starter. But in this case we can use these 3 varieties of starters. Okay, now coming to the squirrel cage, already you know that. So what is a squirrel cage? So this is a squirrel cage induction motor, 3-phase induction motor. It is a rugged one, cheap and best, robust one. Okay, we know already, we discussed everything this one. Now 3-phase starters are used for squirrel cage motors. They are dual starters for full voltage starting purpose, an auto transformer reduced voltage during the starting, and the star delta starter reduced voltage during the starting. So already we have seen that. So our aim is to reduce the voltage initially before going to get its speed near to the synchronous speed, that is the rated RPM. Okay, that purpose we are going to use these 3 starters. Now in case of slip ring induction motors, so this is the slip ring induction motor. Have you remembered? There is a slip rings present inside. Okay, from this one I am going to connect our starter. For example, this is a rotor side. I am going to connect the rotor side. If not possible, I can connect the stator side also by short circuiting these 3 slip rings. Then it simply works as a squirrel cage starters. Then I am going to use the starters in the stator side. Okay, or I can use only this rotor side by using the one starter. So what are the starters? So from stator side I can use the D-valve starter for full voltage during the starting, and auto transformer reduced voltage, a star delta starter reduced voltage we can apply it. These are the stator side. Suppose I don't want the stator side, I can use the permanently in case under a brake test or loading test. I can use the rotor resistance starter only for voltage. Here what will happen? If you're giving if you're connected here the rotor resistance starter, then you are going to use the full low voltage only. So it will take care of I2 current with help of this resistance. Okay, so all the above 4 starters are used for slip ring induction motors. Okay, so for example, you can see how the motor current is reduced by using the starter. So you can see the one graph. You take the one starter here, dual starter. You take it an example. The graph shows how the current drawn by the motor when starting using dual starter. So here I am going to use a starter, this motor, with help of my dual starter, green button, red button from the supply. At that condition, what is the current? I1 current corresponding to our speed. Okay, and what is the current also? What is the voltage changes takes place with help of this one. Okay, now we can see this graph. This is very familiar. What is the graph it shows? So you can see it is a speed here, the 10% from 0 speed is increasing. At that condition, the current here you can see it. What is the current here? The current is the motor percentage of full load current. Okay, full load current. Now you can see at 0 initial speed is equal 0, then what is the current? This much of the current. Once speed pickups, then current slowly decreasing. Once it reaches to the nearby synchronous speed, that is equal N is also Ns, then what will happen? The current is 0, torque is 0, then automatically motor will stop. Okay, this is a current graph with respect to the speed. At the same time, you can see the voltage also, the full voltage starting torque. The starting torque also go on increasing up to speed increases. At one stage, maximum speed, that is SM, when rotor resistance is called rotor reactance value we are going to get is the maximum torque. If further increased speed, then automatically its torque also decreases and becomes to 0. Already we have seen this one. Okay, so what it concludes, important points from the graph. When full voltage is connected across the stator terminals of an induction motor, a large current is drawn by the winding. You can observe this thing initially. So this is because at starting the induction motor behaves like a short circuited transformer. You can already see. So this high current will however be gradually decreasing to its normal value as the motor will pick up speed. Okay, so these all are simply we can understand. Okay, now let us summarize. So this is the same thing. When full voltage is connected across the stator terminals, so you can see it. Okay, already explained now. So terminals and induction motor will draw a large current. This is because starting the induction motor behaves like a short circuited transformer, and this high current will however be gradually decreasing to its normal value as the motor pickups. So you can see this comparison between this one. Okay, so same thing. Now let us summarize what we have seen in this class. So we have discussed in this class, one is the slip, the induced EMF in the rotor E2, ES, the current at the rotor at starting condition I2 and I1 also. What is the need of starter? Then after providing the starter, what are its functions we have seen, and methods of starting of three-phase induction motors. Then we all lastly we have seen that the DOL starter function with current and torque graph with respect to the full load speed. Dear students, so these are the basic things regarding to introduction to our starter. Okay, so if you are having any doubts, please ask in next class. Thank you for listening my class.